I'm here with Anna Lorck, the MP for Tukituki. Kia ora, Anna, and thank you for your time today.
Kia ora, Andrew, and thanks for having me.
It's been a quite crazy time for Hawke's Bay following the cyclone, and we've had government ministers flying in and out since then. What has been your role from day one, and how has that changed over the last few weeks?
Well, I mean, as a local MP, my role is really to be on the ground and working alongside people who need help and support. And that's really what I've been doing. I mean, even yesterday I caught up with a chap called Graham Roddick, and he'd contacted my office a couple of weeks back, and he is a horse breeder who lives on Swamp Road. And he was trying to get a grant for his the livestock recovery, the livestock grant, where we gave some initial response funding to help farmers and growers through the cleanup. And horses weren't identified at that time as being livestock. So with Graham, we worked together, and we've now managed to get horses recognised as livestock on that grant application. Yeah. And so I went out and saw Graham yesterday, and we talked about that, and he talked about the story that he'd had of recovering with his horses and how they'd had to swim for survival out there. And so every week I'm meeting with people with a wide range of concerns or needing support and help in different ways. And so that's the job I've been doing as a local MP. So
where have you been and what have you seen?
When I came back in for the first time when I flew in from Wellington, I was in Wellington the day that the cyclone happened. I didn't manage to speak to my family for most of that day. I got a 15-second phone call from Damon just to say we're okay. And when I was able to get a flight out in the morning, I grabbed a backpack from the airport and a raincoat, and knew that I may not be able to get back to Hastings because at that time both cities were separated.
Yeah.
When I got off the plane, Jimmy Gurin, a local helicopter pilot, saw me and said, "Anna, do you need a ride back to Hastings?" And I said, "Oh, yes, please." And with that, the aircraft crew said, "Have you got a helicopter?" I said, "No, Jimmy's got one." And they said, "Well, can you take this urgent blood to the hospital?" And so we flew over Hawke's Bay to Hastings. And so I got a real first-hand look on day 2 of the flooding.
Did it shock you?
It was absolutely. To see that and to be able to even comprehend what amount of water and where we were going to go from there was really heartbreaking. I mean, I've lived in this region all my life, and to see that devastation was huge.
Were you personally affected by the cyclone?
No, we weren't. We don't live far away from the Karamu stream, which flooded right up over a bridge near us, and we had neighbours who were flooded, but no, we weren't directly impacted.
You're one of 4 Labour MPs in the region, and one of them, Mecca Factory, has been made the lead recovery minister for Hawke's Bay. How are you working with her and the others?
I talk to Mecca every day. We are corresponding at the moment around the standing up of the regional task force. I feed in information about what I'm hearing on the ground, and our role is to make sure that we ensure a locally led response that's regionally delivered and government enabled. And so we have to work really tightly as a team. We obviously connect into to a range of different areas and representatives, but where we can, we get out together. And actually I've got a meeting with her, we're catching up on Sunday to talk about a few things. That's the beauty of being a local MP. People come to you and you can get out there and see what's happening.
Yeah, and in the communities you've been to, what do people want? What are the pressing needs still now, nearly 2 months on?
First of all, people want to be listened to, and they want to know that that their concerns are at the forefront of the recovery. And these things can be from sorting out insurance, contents insurance, through to getting financial support, helping with businesses as well. I've worked with a few businesses who have been wanting to make sure that they can access the support they need. So it's very much about the locals asking to be as engaged in the process as possible.